The woods stood tall and imposing, a majestic canopy of ancient trees reaching towards the heavens. These trees, with their gnarled branches and thick trunks, had witnessed centuries pass by, standing as silent sentinels of time. Their leaves, of vibrant green, whispered stories of old to those who dared to listen. Sunlight filtered through the dense foliage, casting an ethereal glow upon the forest floor. The beams of light danced playfully, illuminating patches of moss and fallen leaves, creating a mosaic of light and shadow. Each ray seemed to carry with it a touch of magic, a reminder of the wonders hidden within the forest's depths. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, creating a symphony of whispers that echoed through the tranquil air. The sound was soothing, like a lullaby sung by the forest itself. It was as if the trees were communicating with one another, sharing secrets and stories carried by the wind. It was a scene of breathtaking beauty, yet an undercurrent of unease lingered in the air, a subtle reminder that nature's embrace could be both alluring and unforgiving. The forest was a living entity, with its own moods and mysteries. One moment, it could be a sanctuary of peace, the next, a labyrinth of shadows and unknown dangers. The woods were a place of secrets, where shadows danced and imagination ran wild. Every rustle, every flicker of movement seemed to hint at hidden creatures and unseen eyes watching from the darkness. It was a realm where reality and fantasy intertwined, creating a tapestry of wonder and mystery. Legends and folklore whispered of ancient spirits and mystical creatures that roamed the untamed wilderness. Tales of fairies, guardians of the forest, and spirits of the trees were passed down through generations. These stories added to the forest's mystique, making it a place of both reverence and fear. It was a place where the boundaries between reality and fantasy blurred, and where the unknown held an irresistible allure. The mist that often enveloped the forest added to its enigmatic charm, making it seem like a portal to another world. Here, in the heart of the enchanting woods, one could lose themselves in the beauty and mystery, forever captivated by its timeless magic.
This spot is perfect, Lily. Just what we needed to get away from it all.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Jake, but I don't know, something feels off.
You're just nervous. It's the first night out here. You'll get used to it.
Maybe, but the air feels so heavy, like we're not alone.
It's just your imagination. Trust me, we're fine.
I hope you're right, Jake, I really do.
As night fell, the forest transformed into a realm of shadows and whispers. The once familiar trees took on menacing forms, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The darkness seemed to amplify every sound, turning the gentle rustling of leaves into ominous pronouncements. Lily lay awake in the tent, her heart pounding in her chest.
Jake, wake up, did you hear that?
Mumbling, it's nothing, Lily. Just go back to sleep.
Whispering, come closer.
Whispering, join us.
No, Jake, listen, there are voices out there.
Groggy, it's just the wind, Lily. Go to sleep.
But Jake, it feels so real.
It's just the wind. You're letting your imagination run wild.
But Jake, I heard it too. It wasn't the wind, it was voices. Whispering voices.
Rolling over. Go to sleep, Lily. You'll feel better in the morning.
But Lily knew that she wouldn't feel better. If anything, the darkness seemed to amplify her fears, making them feel all too real. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to be coming from just beyond the edge of the campfire, swirling around them like disembodied spirits.
Yaki, come to me.
Did you hear that?
Then a voice cut through the darkness, a voice that sent chills down Lily's spine. It was deep and resonant, filled with an ancient power that seemed to vibrate in the very air around them. The voice had spoken directly to Jake, calling him by name. It was as if the darkness itself had recognized him, had singled him out. The voice continued to call to Jake, each whisper weaving a spell of enchantment around him. The forest seemed to close in, the trees whispering secrets of their own, amplifying the sinister call. Jake felt an irresistible pull, a magnetic force that drew him deeper into the shadows. The whispers were no longer just sounds, they were promises, dark and alluring, promising power and knowledge beyond his wildest dreams. Lily watched in horror as her boyfriend, her strong and rational Jake, began to change before her very eyes. She had always known Jake to be the rock in their relationship, the one who kept his cool no matter the situation. But now, that very foundation seemed to be crumbling. His posture, once confident and assured, now seemed hunched and submissive, as if he were bowing to an unseen master. His features seemed to soften, his gaze becoming distant and unfocused. The sharpness in his eyes, the clarity that she loved, was fading away, replaced by a glassy, vacant stare. It was as if he was looking through her, seeing something far beyond the physical world. His skin took on a pallor, and his movements became slow and deliberate, almost mechanical.
Jake, what's happening to you? She pleaded, her voice trembling with fear and desperation. She reached out, hoping to pull him back from the brink to remind him of who he was and what they had together.
He reached out a hand as if drawn by an invisible force, a slow, eerie smile spreading across his lips. It was a smile that sent chills down her spine, a smile that was not his own. It was as if something else was smiling through him, something ancient and malevolent. But her touch seemed to burn him, for he recoiled as if from a searing flame. The connection they once shared now felt like a barrier, an insurmountable wall of fire. He pulled away, his face contorted in pain and confusion, as if he couldn't understand why her touch hurt him so.
Don't fight it, Jake. Give in to the darkness. It's where you belong. The voice was seductive, dripping with a dark promise that seemed to resonate with something deep within Jake. It was a call to surrender, to let go of all resistance and embrace the darkness fully.
Lily felt a surge of terror as she realized the truth. The voice was taking control of Jake, twisting him into something she no longer recognized. The man she loved was slipping away, being replaced by a stranger with a dark, twisted soul. She knew she had to act fast, but the fear paralyzed her, leaving her rooted to the spot as the darkness closed in around them both.
Jake, please, fight it, don't listen to it, it's trying to hurt you.
But her words were lost in the cacophony of whispers that now swirled around them. Jake's eyes, once filled with love and warmth, were now cold and distant, like those of a stranger. He turned away from Lily, his gaze fixed on the darkness that beckoned him.
Jake, no!
Lily screamed, lunging for him, but it was too late. Jake's body was already in motion, his steps light and effortless as he walked towards the source of the whispers. Lily watched in despair as the love of her life disappeared into the shadows, swallowed whole by the darkness that had claimed him as its own.
Lily stumbled through the undergrowth, her flashlight beam dancing across the twisted branches and gnarled roots that littered the forest floor. The whispers grew louder, guiding her deeper and deeper into the heart of the woods. Finally, she emerged into a small clearing, and there, bathed in the eerie glow of the moon, stood Jake. But he was not the Jake she knew. He stood motionless, his arms outstretched, his head tilted back as if in a trance. His eyes were wide and vacant, devoid of any recognition.
He is mine now. He belongs to the darkness.
You cannot save him. He is mine now. His fate is sealed, and there is nothing you can do to change it. He belongs to the darkness. The shadows have claimed him, and he will never return to the light.
Lily watched in horror as Jake's body began to glow with an unnatural light. It was as if the very essence of his being was being consumed by some otherworldly force. The air around him crackled with energy, and the very ground beneath her feet seemed to tremble. The forest itself seemed to react to the dark magic at play, leaves rustling violently and branches swaying as if in protest. She knew then that it was too late. The Whisperer had won. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks, and she felt a cold dread settle in her heart. With a blinding flash of light, Jake vanished into thin air. One moment he was there, and the next, he was gone, leaving behind only an eerie silence. Lily was thrown backward, her flashlight flying from her grasp. The force of the explosion knocked the wind out of her, and she landed hard on the forest floor. She lay there for a moment, stunned and disoriented, the echoes of the Whisperer's laughter ringing in her ears. It was a sound that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Then, slowly, painfully, she picked herself up and stumbled back the way she had come, the chilling realization washing over her that she was now alone in the woods. The darkness seemed to close in around her, and every shadow seemed to hide a new terror. She knew she had to keep moving, but the fear was almost paralyzing. Each step was a struggle, and the forest seemed to stretch on forever. The Whisperer's triumph was complete, and Lily was left to face the aftermath alone.
The woods stood silent once more, the only sound the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind. The Whisperer was gone, its laughter fading into the night. But the memory of that night, the horror of what she had witnessed, would stay with Lily forever. The woods had claimed Jake, had swallowed him whole, leaving behind only an eerie silence and the lingering scent of fear. And deep within the heart of the forest, the Whisperer waited, its whispers echoing through the trees, searching for its next victim, its next soul to claim. The woods held their breath, listening, waiting for the day when the whispers would rise again, and the darkness would once more consume the unsuspecting. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling tales.